Right. So now let me write some steps. So step one, in order to connect to database from Java program. So what I need in my computer, I need Java to be installed and running. Then I need a database. So in my computer, I'm using Oracle because I'm more comfortable with Oracle. So I'm using Oracle. You can use MySQL. There is no major difference. I'll tell you how to connect to database from Java. Same procedure is applicable for any database. So Java to Oracle or Java to any database, process and procedure remains the same. So first you need to have Java. Then I'm using Oracle. So Oracle 10G installed in your computer. Then what I should know, I should know the name of the Java JDBC driver. Identify and locate JDBC driver, right, given by Oracle 10G. Who gives the driver? Database vendor. So in Oracle 10G, the name of the driver is OJDBC 14.jar. OJDBC 14.jar. So what this driver contains, sir? Driver contains implementation classes of all interfaces which are present in JDBC API. So if there are 20 interfaces, all 20 interfaces will be implemented by writing 20 classes, and you pack all these classes into a single file using jar, right? I don't know whether in 2.1 you have studied jar or not. Jar stands for, jar means Java archive, right? Used to pack multiple classes into a single file, right? So what is JDBC driver? JDBC driver, in this case it is OJDBC 14.jar, right? JDBC driver contains classes which implemented JDBC interfaces. What are JDBC interfaces? That we have seen, right? In the java.sql package we have seen, and some of the important interfaces we have listed also. What are the important interfaces? Driver, driver manager, connection, statement, prepared statement, result set metadata, database metadata, etc. Right? So first what I need to check, Java is there or not. I have to see Oracle 10G is installed in my machine or not. And in Oracle, because driver is given by JDB's Oracle database vendor, so Oracle 10G should provide me driver, and I find it in installation folder of Oracle that we have seen in the previous class, right? Now copy the driver into your work directory, right? So after copying the driver into work directory, set the class path environment variable, set the class path environment variable to, you can, instead of saying set, already class path environment variable will be pointing to default classes of Java, which is jrelib, right? Apart from that, it should also point to the JDBC driver. So we will say update the class path environment variable such that it points to OJDBC 14.jar, means JDBC driver, because it contains all classes of JDBC interfaces, and those classes I'll use in my program. So I want class path environment variable to point to JDBC driver also. So all these things we should do in the very beginning, right? So you know what is class path environment variable? Do you know or not? Please let me know so that if required we will discuss. There are two important environment variables which we will set. One is path, another one is class path. Are you aware of path and class path, or shall we discuss? Okay, that's great. Akshita is also typing. Let me wait for her response. Okay, good, great. So class path environment variable, by default it will be pointing to default Java classes. I want class path environment variable to point to my JDBC driver also. So I should update the class path environment variable. Now to connect to any database from Java program, we must know following things. What is that? Database, sorry, name of the driver class, right? Database name, sorry, database username and password, database username and password, and JDBC URL of the database. So friends, please uh, listen carefully. These three are very important things, and if you are aware of these three things, you can connect to any database from the Java program. So program remains the same, my dear friends. Program will not change. These three parameters will change, and the driver. So if I am using Oracle 10G, I use OJDBC 14.jar. If I use some other MySQL 3.0 database, it's a corresponding jar file I will use. And so what is going to change means jar file will change, which is JDBC driver, and these three parameters. So let us understand each parameter carefully. So what is the first parameter? Name of the driver class. So what do you mean by name of the driver class? In JDBC API, there are so many interfaces. One interface name is driver interface. So in order to implement driver interface, they might have written one class. That is what is JDBC driver like. If there are 20 interfaces, they will write 20 classes, each implementing one interface. So driver interface is there. So they might have written a class to implement driver interface, right? That class, the class which has implemented driver interface, that class is called as a driver class. So I should know name of the driver class. So if I take this particular Oracle 10G, in Oracle 10G, Oracle 10G people, Oracle vendor, what they have done is they have given me this jar file. What is this jar file? OJDBC 14.jar. What it contains? It jar is a collection of classes, right? Packed together into single file. What this jar file contains? It contains implementation classes of all JDBC interfaces. It means for driver interface, they have written a class. For connection interface, they have written a class. For statement interface, they have written a class. Like that, for all interfaces, they have written a class, right? In that, for driver interface, whatever class they have written, that class name I should know. Got it? So that is called as name of the driver class. So you may ask me, sir, how do I know the name of the driver class? Again, Either you can simply type in Google like I am using Oracle 10G. In Oracle 10G, what is the name of the driver class? Like this, you can type in Google or read the product manual. Means Oracle's 10G product manual will be their specification. That document you should read, or simply type in Google what is the name of the driver class for Oracle 10G. And if you are working on MySQL 3.0, then you will search in Google and try to know what is the name of the driver class for MySQL 3.0. So like this, name of driver class you should know, because it will be used inside our program. Then what is the second parameter? Database username and password. You are doing DBMS lab, right? So you are connecting to MySQL, you are creating tables. Did you start creating tables and doing some operations on the table? Was it started in your DBMS lab? Please let me know. Okay, done. Started, right? So you should know about name of the driver class, database username and password, and JDBC URL. Again, this is one more important parameter. It is called as JDBC URL. Again, this varies from database to database. If I am using Oracle 10G, there will be a different JDBC URL. If I am using Oracle 11G, the JDBC URL will be different. If I am using 12C, the JDBC URL will be different. If I am using MySQL, there will be a different JDBC URL. Again, either you search it in Google or read product manual, but you can easily get this information from Google. So you have to note all these things. So you should know name of the driver class. You should remember username and password. You should also know the JDBC URL of the database which you are using, whether it is Oracle, MySQL, Postgre, or whatever it is. So these are the three things which you have to know. Then you can write a program, right? If you know all these things, then you can start working on Java database connectivity. So let us start the process. So what is step one? I should see whether my Java is working or not, right? So see here, I am minimizing it and I am now following the process, right? So this is my command prompt. I hope you can see the command prompt. So I went to D colon work, because as I said you, this is my working directory. So I went to my working directory. Let me check whether Java compiler is running or not. Yes, Java compiler is running. Java virtual machine is running or not. Yes, it is working. So Java is working fine. So I minimize my work directory command prompt, right? And I'll try to open SQL command line, right? The way you have used MySQL in your lab, I am using Oracle's command prompt. I am connecting to Oracle database. Please observe, connect. It is asking me username. Username is system slash password is 123. Please make a note. Username is system, password is 123. If you are using something else, same values you should give. See the message connected. Now I am trying to see whether there is a table, whether is there any table with the name employee or not. The command is describe emp. Object emp does not exist, so there is no such table. So let me clear screen. I will create a table. Create a table emp. Friends, this is syntax in Oracle. Maybe you are using MySQL in your lab and maybe it is little different, but please, any of the recording will be provided, but please make a note of this syntax. I'm trying to create a table called as emp. Create table emp. In that I am saying employee ID is the name of the variable. Its data type is number, right? Then I'll make it primary key, means it should be not null and it should be unique. So employee ID means every employee should have a unique ID, and definitely employee should have some ID. You can't have an employee without ID. So I hope you know the meaning of primary key. Then employee name, this is the data type. 30 is the size maximum. Then salary, and in that let me say the salary is it's a number of type 10 comma 2, because number can be floating point value, the salary can be floating point value. 1 second. Right, so this is the syntax. If you want, you can just make a note of it. Create table emp, employee id, number of 5, primary key, ename, salary. Right, table created. Now I would like to insert some values into this one using a command again. Insert into emp values. Employee id is 1, name is Ram, salary is something like this, some value. One row created. Right, I would like to insert, sorry, since there is a primary key, same value I cannot insert. So employee id 1, employee id 2, Kiran, salary is something like this. Another row created. Employee id 3, Madhu, salary is done. So 3 rows I have created, if you observe, and if I want to see the data, select star from emp. So friends, you are able to see, you are able to understand till now what I have done. I have just created a small table, inserted 3 records. Till this point, is it clear? Done. So now this is my SQL. Now I'll close this SQL. And I told you, you have to know where is the driver, OJDBC 14.jar, right? You have to search in Oracle's installation folders that we have done in the morning session. Again, I will show you Oracle XE, app, Oracle, then product, 10.2.0, server, JDBC, lib. In this, you will find 2 files, OJDBC14, OJDBC14 underscore G. So OJDBC 14 is the one which you have to take. Don't take underscore G. Suppose if you are doing this program from a Linux environment, then underscore G, that file you have to take. So first one is for your Windows. I copied this one. I have already copied it in my D drive. I created a work folder. In the work folder, see here, I copied this OJDBC14.jar. Now friends, I need to update my class path environment variable, otherwise my program will not work. So I'll go to command prompt. This is command prompt. I hope you can see this one. I'll set the class path. Set class path is equal to percentile class path semicolon. The meaning of semicolon is please do not remove the existing class path, even that is required. So I want to append, I just want to append something extra to the existing class path. So semicolon acts like a separator. Existing class path which is pointing to default Java classes will also be there. Apart from that, I want to add something extra. So here I should give the path d colon slash work slash OJDBC 14.jar semicolon. So that's it. My class path environment variable is updated. If you want, you can also note this command. This is very important. So I'll give you time. You can make a note of it. Set class path, capital letter sir. Set class path is equal to percentile class path d colon slash work slash OJDBC 14.jar. right? Shall we move on? Done. Okay. Now see here in my work folder, already I have written a program. I'm just trying to open the same program. Program to get the employee details from the database table. So line by line, I am going to explain you the program. So don't write the program. I will share you the program separately once again. Apart from recording, immediately after the class, I will share the code. Try to understand the program. So first, why I'm importing java.sql in the morning session, in the previous session, you have seen Jdbc API is collection of classes and interfaces. Classes are present in java.sql because JavaSoft has written it. That's the reason I'm importing them. Interfaces are implemented by the database vendor. Interfaces are available in OJDBC 14.jar. My class path is already pointing to it. So both classes and interfaces are now available in my program. So I am importing java.sql.star. Fine. Now public class db demo, database demo. I'm trying to connect to the database. Public static void main throws exception, right? Now I told you there are some 8 important interfaces. In that, one interface name is connection. And what is this variable con? Connection con is a variable of type connection interface. Statement is a variable of type statement interface. Result set is a rs is a variable of type result set. So connection interface helps me in getting the connection. Statement interface helps me in executing statements on my database, and result set interface will help me in collecting the results which I got from the database. So these three interfaces I am going to use. Interfaces contains abstract methods, you know that very well. So what I am going to use is the implementation classes of these interfaces which are present inside OJDBC 14.jar file, right? So now see the first line, my dear students. This is very, very important. Class dot for name. Class dot for name. In Java, there is a class by the name class. So kindly don't get confused. What is this class? There is a class just like system class, just like scanner class, right? Just like buffer reader, just like all other string class, just like all other classes which you know, there is a class in Java by the name class. So there is a class called as class. In that there is a method called as for name. Class dot for name. So the very first line in JDBC connectivity program, it is only 2 lines, sir. To get connection, 2 lines of code. First line is class dot for name, class dot for name, and if you observe, class dot for name is taking one string as parameter. And if you carefully observe, see here, what is the string, sir? Oracle dot JDBC dot driver dot Oracle driver. What is this? This is the name of the driver class. This is the name of the driver class. I told you some time back, like there are 3 important parameters which you should know. Name of the driver class, database username and password, JDBC URL. These 3 things you should know. What is the name of the driver class? It varies from Oracle database to database. So which database you are using? In that database, what is the name of the driver class? You should know. So class dot for name will take the name of the driver class as parameter. So what is the name of the driver class? Right? Oracle 10G developers, when they have developed Oracle 10G, they have also provided JDBC driver in the form of OJDBC 14.jar. It contains classes for all JDBC JDBC interfaces. And one interface is there by the name driver. For driver interface, they have written a class. That class name will come as parameter to per name. What is the parameter? What is this one? This is nothing but name of the driver class. Name of the driver class. Actually, Oracle driver is the name of the class, but it is sitting in a package called as driver. Driver is sitting in a package called as JDBC. JDBC is sitting in a package called as Oracle. That's the reason I should write it as oracle.jdbc.driver.oracle driver. So friends, if you are instead of Oracle 10G, if you are using, let us say, some other database, IBM DB2 you are using, or MySQL you are using, you are going to replace this first parameter name of the driver class with the suitable, the correct driver class of IBM DB2, or whatever may be the name of driver class in MySQL. So whatever database you are using, accordingly its driver class name will come, right? So class dot for name, what it will do, it will load this driver class into Java virtual machine. So it enters into JVM using for name method. Now after line 1, what is line 2? If you observe, line 2 is returning something. Please observe the LHS. Line 2 is returning what? It is returning you the connection object. That's the reason. See where I what is the output of line 2? I am collecting it in a con variable. What is con variable? Con is a variable of type connection. So what this driver manager dot get connection returns? Driver manager dot get connection establishes the connection with the database and returns the connection object to you. So you have to collect a connection object in the connection variable. That's the reason connection con is equal to, I am writing the right hand side of the code. Now let us understand this right hand side of the code. This driver manager, by looking at this one, you should understand D is capital, M is capital. So driver manager is a class, and classes are available in java.sql package, right? So driver manager dot get connection is a method. Get connection is a method. It's a static method. That is the reason you are calling with class name. Get connection method, listen carefully, get connection method will take 3 parameters. Get connection will take 3 parameters. And if these 3 parameters are given properly, get connection method will be able to establish connection with the database successfully, and it returns connection object, which I am collecting it in a connection object interface variable called as con. So driver manager dot get connection. Get connection takes 3 important parameters. What are they? See the first parameter. It is very lengthy, right? So this first parameter is called as JDBC URL, right? So as I told you, there are 3 important things which you need to know. Name of the driver class that came in first line. Then username, password, and JDBC URL was our second and third point. JDBC URL will be the first parameter in get connection method. JDBC URL. Then the second parameter is username. Third parameter is password. So in my database, what is the username? Just now I have shown you. I have connected to Oracle 10G. Username was system. Password was 123. And what is this one? Such a lengthy parameter. This is called as JDBC URL. So this URL, this parameter, which is called as JDBC URL, this one again varies from database to database. It will not be fixed. So if you are using Oracle 10G, this is the URL. If you are using Oracle 9i, something else. If you are using Oracle 12c, something else. If you are using MySQL, something else. Again, you have to browse and come to know what is the JDBC URL. So JDBC URL for Oracle 10G is JDBC colon Oracle colon thin @ localhost. So friends, here localhost means the current machine, right? Where is my program? My program is in the same laptop. Where is the database? Database is also in the same laptop. So I should give localhost. Localhost means the same machine. Suppose if my program is running in this laptop and imagine database is installed in your computer, and I want to connect to the database which is installed in your computer, then instead of localhost, I should give IP address of your computer. Means I can connect to a database which is in a remote machine also. Got it? Code is same. So JDBC URL for Oracle 10G is JDBC colon Oracle colon thin colon @ localhost. Since my program and database are in the same machine, I am writing localhost. If my database is running in some other machine, I will replace localhost with the IP address of that machine. Colon 1521 is called as port number, and Oracle, this is not Oracle, this should be XE, which is the database name. Username is different, my dear friends. Database name is different. So in Oracle 10G, the default database name is XE. So I should write XE. I have written. What is the second parameter? Second parameter is username. What is the third parameter? Password. Username is system. Password is 123. Now see here. That's it. These are the two lines which contain database connectivity code, system.out.println. If the first two lines execute successfully, I can print a message saying that connected to database, right? So what we will do is, right, till this point, is it clear, sir? Please let me know. Any doubts, please let me know. Akshita says, okay. Remaining, Tarun, Harsha, is it clear? Done. Okay. Chalo. Now this print statement, if it is printed, it means I am able to connect to the database successfully. Now connection, you got what next? Once you got the connection, what is your next task? You want to execute some commands, right? You want to run some database commands on the database. You want to perform some operations, right? Now friends, in DBMS, while studying database commands, you might have studied like commands are of three types or four types, like DDL commands, DML commands, DCL commands, or TCL commands. Whereas when I'm interacting with database from Java program, we will classify commands into only two types. Commands which are going to update the database or which are going to make some changes to the database. Commands which are, that is one category. Another category is command which gets you the data from the database. For example, if you take select command, what select command will do? It will return you the data from the database. What all other commands will do? None of them will return you anything, right? Insert will update the database, delete will update the database, right? Whatever other commands are there, insert, delete, update, modify, alter, all other commands, I can classify them as select command, and all other are non-select commands. Yes or no? I can classify commands based on what they are returning to me. I can say there is only one command which returns me the data, that is select command. So all other are non-select commands. Like this, from a Java programmer point of view, we classify commands into two types, select and non-select. So why this is so important is, if I want to run a command on the database, first of all, I should know, am I running a select command or something else? For select command, the method used is different. For non-select command, the method used is different. So please observe here carefully. Please observe carefully. What is this, sir? ST means statement. ST means statement. Statement object is required to run a statement, to run a SQL command. So how do I create that statement object? See here, con dot. So what is con? Connection object. Means without getting connection object, you can't create a statement object. So how do I create a statement object? This is the method. There is a method called as create statement. Where is this create statement method is available? It is available inside connection object. So con dot create statement. Means if connection object is not available, I can't create statement object. So if this line is executed successfully, con dot create statement, I'll get the statement object. Statement object, I'm storing it in statement of reference variable st. Got it? Now similarly, once I got the statement object, please observe here, I can call a method called as execute query. Friends, I told you there are, from Java programmer point of view, from Jdbc point of view, SQL commands are of only two types. Select command because it returns you data, and all other are called as non-select commands. So friends, for select command, if you want to run select command on the database, you have to use a method called as execute query. Make a note of it. For select command, you use a method execute query. And for all other non-select commands, the method is execute update. Execute query, execute update. So how do I run the execute query method? It is present inside statement object. So I created statement object. From where do I get statement object? I need to establish connection. So from connection object, I got statement object. Now statement object dot st dot execute query. In that, I will write my select statement and I will pass it as a parameter inside double quotations. So see the select command what I have written. Select employee number, comma name, comma salary from which table? Employee table. Here what is the name given to the table? Employee details. So here we should be very careful. Whatever column names you have given, whatever table name you have given in database, it should match. Otherwise this command will fail. So what is the table name I gave, sir? Did I give employee details or did I give EMP? Let us check. Let us check. What is our table name? Select star from EMP. Table name is EMP. What is employee number column name? EID. Name is ename. Salary is full spelling salary. So I should follow this as it is. If I write employee details, it will say, boss, there is no such table. So I should make this EMP. Is there anything called as ENO? It is EID, right? Select EID, comma ename, comma salary, not SAL. So my command should match with my database. Select EID name salary from EMP. So this SQL statement will be kept inside execute query method. Execute query method is present inside statement object. And if this select command executes successfully, if the select command executes successfully, it is going to return me the result, all the records of that employee table in a object called as result set object. So I am collecting it in rs. Rs is a variable of type result set. Rs is a variable of type result set. Is it okay, sir? You are following me? Till now things are fine? Yeah, okay, that's great. Yeah. So now this result set object contains all the records. If EMP contains 1000 records, all 1000 records will be fetched or retrieved into our result set object. So I just want to print it. So why I'm running a loop? Because there may be multiple records available in employee table. So I need a loop. Now this system.out.println is for heading, like just giving some heading to my output. Employee number, name, salary, \t for tab. It is just a heading kind of thing for my output. Now you tell me how many times the while loop should run, because in employee table how many records are there I don't know, right? Of course there are 3 records we have only inserted, but in general we don't know, right? How many records are there in the table I don't know. So how many times this loop should run? How do I know that? How many times the loop should run? Can I run an infinite loop? Any guesses? No? No guesses? It is based on the columns in the table. No, it should be based on rows, right? How many records are there are based on number of rows. 10 records or 20 records or 30 records. It should be based on all columns will come, or how many columns you wanted. You have mentioned no in the command. Select EID, name and salary. If you don't want to see the salary, don't write salary. Number of columns is your choice, but how many records will come? Since you have selected all records will come. There can be 3 records or there can be 300 records. Okay, no issue. I'll tell you. It's based on columns in the table. Yeah, fine. I'll tell you the answer. Please observe this carefully. Mm, yeah. So this is our program, right? So what exactly happens is, right? So what exactly happens in result set object is, what result set object does is, yeah, observe this carefully. See, all these things you can't learn from any notes or textbook. There are a lot of things beyond YouTube. There are a lot of things beyond a textbook. So certain things you can learn only through practice and only through attending these kind of classes. So friends, what happens is, see this one, before first and after last. Now look at the database. How many records are there in employee table? There are 3 records, right? Ram, Kiran and Madhu. So what will happen is, see this Word document. When I run this execute query method, what it will do is, so this is employee ID, this is Ram, this is some salary, whatever we have written, this is employee ID 2, then Ram, Kiran and some 4500, then Madhu and some salary for Madhu, right? So friends, see here, Now, how many rows are there in this table? How many rows are there? How many rows are there in this table? Observe this table carefully and tell me how many rows are there. There are 5 rows. That's great. Now, how many records are there originally in the database? There are only 3 records, right? How many records are there in the database? There are only 3 records or 3 rows. So, whenever we run execute query method, what happens is execute query methods returns you the result in the result set object, and what will happen is it will add 2 extra rows. They are not physical, they are logical. 2 extra rows. One is called as before first. So this is an extra row called as before first, and the last one is called as after last. So 2 extra rows it will add. One is called as before first and another one is called as after last. So this result set object, whatever we have created, this result set object, mm, this result set object, here, this result set object rs, whatever we have created, this rs will be pointing to before first row. So rs will be by default pointing to, what is the first row? Rs will be pointing to first row. What is first row? Before first, right? So now see the code, you will understand. Now see the code, right? While rs dot next. So in the very first statement, I am saying rs dot next. So why we are writing rs dot next? Because initially rs is pointing to the logical row called as before first. So when I say rs dot next, where it will go, sir? It will go to actual first record. Yes or no? It will go to actual first record. Then again rs dot next, it will go to second record. Then again rs dot next, it will go to third record. Then again rs dot next, it will go to after last, means it's not there, so automatically it will stop. So how this result set dot next, how this rs dot next works means, this is the logic. So how for every table, whenever we get the data, there are 2 rows. One is called as before first, another one is called as after last, which are added in the very beginning and in the very last. So initially rs will be pointing to the before first row. That's the reason I said rs dot next. Otherwise, if I simply say while rs, it will be pointing to a logical row called as before first, and it will not move to the next record. So that's the reason we should write rs dot next. And since I want to print everything on a new line, I am using a system.out.println statement. Again, here I should not commit a mistake. What is my first column? System.out.println rs dot. In rs, there is a method called as getString, and this method will take column name as the parameter, give eid. First column will come rs dot getString. E name is the second column. Rs dot getString. Salary. If I give only SAL, it will not work. Salary is the name of my column in the database. Give that column name rs dot getString. Like that, if you have 20 columns, 20 times you should write rs dot getString of column name, column name, column name. Like that, it will repeat. So this print statement will actually get the data, right? And now when rs is pointing to first record, it will get you the first employee id, first name, first salary. Then automatically rs will move to second record. Then I'll get the second employee id, second name, second salary. This process will repeat till I reach to the last record. After that, it will find after last, which is a logical row, and it stops automatically. So friends, don't get confused. This first print statement is only to get that heading, and this loop will actually get my data. And to handle any exceptions, I have written a simple catch block, and this is what is my program. Where this program should be saved, it should be saved in work directory, because my driver is in work directory, jdbc driver. So this is dbdemo.java, right? So it got saved. Let me go to command prompt. I'll try to run this one. So dir to see demo.java is there in the work directory, yes or no? Yet yes, it is there. Jar file is there in the work directory. Your jdbc driver, yes, it is there. Did you update the class path? Yes, we have updated just now using set class path command. It is visible on the screen. Now let me compile java c dbdemo.java. Yes, it got compiled. Java dbdemo. Right. See, I got the connected to database. I got the message that I have connected successfully. This heading got printed, but the values I did not get. Means there is something wrong in my system.out.println statement. So I should check that. Or maybe result set was, I did not fetch the results properly. So what is the command? Select EID, ename, salary from EMP. Right. While rs.next, system.rs.getString of EID, ename, salary, right? So then did we give the same names, EID, ename, salary from EMP? Let me cross check with my database. Select star from EMP, EID, ename and salary. They are correct. Then I should be able to get it, right? So while rs.next, system.out.println. I did not get, did I get any exception? Please check. I did not get any exception. So see here, commit, clear screen. Let me run my program again. Java. See, now I got the result. I did not change my code, nothing, but I could not get it. Now I got it. The reason is, friends, please observe here, I did not commit my transaction. I have inserted records, but I did not type a command called as commit. Since I did not commit it, all these three records were not saved. That's the reason I am unable to see those results from my program. So after typing commit in my Oracle, there I was able to get the data. See here, let us make few changes here. What I'll do, I'll insert one more record. Insert into EMP values 4 comma, right, Kishore comma some salary, right. One row created, right. Now let me run the program again. Why I did not get fourth row? Why I did not get fourth row? Because you have inserted, no doubt, but it's not yet saved. If I say commit, now changes are made permanently into the database. Now when I run it, see, I got the fourth record also. See, I got the fourth record. Now see here. Delete from EMP where EID is equal to 1. What happened? Where EID, where spelling is wrong, right? Where EID is equal to 1. Can you see one row deleted? Yes, one row deleted. Now if I run my program, I should not get that first employee, right? Why I am still getting the same reason, sir? I have deleted, but I have not committed it. Now if I run, changes are saved, I will get the latest values. Got it? Fine. Any doubts? Oh, someone already mentioned why I could not get the answer. Commit. That's great, Tarun. Fine. So this is how we can interact with database from our Java program. See here in the same program, we can make some changes. What I'll do is I'll put this in comments. I'll share this code at the what we say at the end of this class. What I want to show is uh, retrieving this example is there, so I'll put it in comment. What I'll do is I'll show you one more example. St dot, for all other commands, what is the method? Execute update, right? So one more example I would like to show you. See here, means select, we have seen some other example. Execute update is the name of the method. Now you can write insert command here, you can write create command, you can write delete command, everything, my dear friends, everything you can write from this particular place. All non-select commands, select commands from execute query method, non-select execute update, but it should be kept in double quotations because string parameter methods will take, so I kept it in double quotation. Let me delete something like delete from emp where eid is equal to 2, where eid is equal to 2. Now what I'll do is control s, I have saved my program, changes are made, so I should save it. Then I will compile my program again because I have made changes. I'll compile, I'll run. Connected to database, I'm not getting any data from database, so it will not print, but deletion should be done, right? Now go to database and see clear screen, right? Select star from emp. Record number 2 got deleted or not, right? And the beauty is from Java program, if you are doing any operations on database, you need not run commit. Commit will run automatically. So here in my program, two statements were executed. One is execute update delete command followed by commit. Automatically commit will run, sir. That's the reason, without running any commit function or commit method from my program, automatically deletion was reflected in the database, right? So are we clear with the basic concepts of Java database connectivity? What is this? No, I didn't. Akshita, what do you mean by no, sir? I didn't get you. Sai Tarun says no. No for what? Acha, for commit you are saying no. Yeah. So from program when you write, it's not required. Means there is something called as auto commit and it is always turned on. We can even turn off that auto commit. So what will happen is until you run a commit method, changes will not be saved permanently. But there is an auto commit running. That's the reason delete got affected, right? So from here you can run any command, sir, any valid database command you can run. See here I have written delete command. I can write update command, update emp table, set salary is equal to 1000, where emp id is equal to 3. Means for that person I want to change salary. I saved my program, changes are made, so compile the program, run the program. Invalid. I see what is the mistake I have done. I have written employee ID. Actually, it should be EID, right? Control S, compile the program, run the program. For employee ID 3, I want to set his salary as 1000 rupees, right? So let me go back to DB. So previously Madhu's salary was 500. I made it to 1000, right? So friends, like this, for any database you can do the connectivity. You need to know what is the JDBC URL, what is the name of the driver class, and you should know what is the JDBC driver jar file that you need to collect and put it in your work directory. Update the class path. You can interact with any database. The program remains the same, only the parameters will change, right? So this is about Java database connectivity, right? And for our project also, right, we need to prepare some PPT, it seems. So you can prepare what we say for our project. You can prepare a PPT on JDBC, and if you have worked on any to create, you create couple of web pages, boss. One is for admin login, and another one is a page after admin login is done successfully. You create a page wherein user can do operations like search, insert, delete, update. So give some 4 or 5 buttons, and that is one page. We will work on all these UI parts separately, but as of now, since there are some guidelines given by Vishnu sir on PPT, prepare some PPT, and in that presentation also mention that you have done JDBC Java database connectivity. You can get some screenshots from these video recordings. You can use them as well, and I'll be sharing both video recordings in our group. It will be useful for everyone because no one has studied JDBC, and it will not be there in your syllabus also. So I'll be sharing this video, and this particular program which we have written, I'll share it immediately in our WhatsApp group. So before we wind up, if you have any doubts, please let me know. So are we clear with the things, or if you have any doubts, kindly let me know. Good. So I've given you only 1 or 2 examples. So if you go through that API, you can do a lot of things with JDBC. You can execute apart from SQL commands. You can run triggers. You can callable statements are there, cursors are there, stored procedures are there. There are a lot of things which you will be studying in future units of DBMS. Whatever you are able to do in DBMS, everything can be done from a Java program as well. So since you are learning DBMS now, you can explore more on JDBC. So whatever you have done with DBMS, all those things can be done from a Java program as well. So keep learning, keep practicing JDBC, and if you have any doubts, always please don't hesitate to talk to me. Okay, then thank you for attending the session, and hopefully we will meet in another couple of days. Again, we will work on the UI part of our project. Okay, then thank you.